what freedom means to me is the opportunity to grow, to live your life to your fullest potential without any limitations put upon you by anything. I usually go over words to rhythm. I usually teach them syncopation and beats and measurements, measures, counting measures. When I do my music production workshops with young people. And I always include a historic component. I teach hip-hop appreciation for the most part. So what I teach is the history, and I incorporate that into the lesson. But mainly I teach them how to bring out their creativity, really focus their feelings, their emotions into their creativity. And I give them an end product, which is their own, and I always encourage them to pull for themselves and to reach deeper and deeper into their beings and express themselves so that they can ultimately feel the freedom that comes along with expressing yourself. It's a precious jewel, hip-hop. It's a precious jewel, hip-hop. What makes me believe in what these kids can be is me observing the timeline of my life and what I came from, and knowing that my creativity, all the energy that I had as a young person, you know, even though at certain times it may have been looked upon as rambunctious or negative in early stages, I realized I realized over the course of my timeline that that energy, if it's just channeled in the right direction, it could produce a positive and constructive and productive young person. People, a lot of your ideas and a lot of the help and assistance that you can offer them based upon your experience and your journey, your own personal journey, you can allow them and encourage them to do more than what you've done, and also to take some notes from what you've done. I just believe in humanity. I believe in human beings, you know. So, you know, when it comes to society and social structures and classes, I'm not really a person that observes that. I just observe humanity and the human being and the human spirit, and I know that it has the greatest potential in the universe, you know. So I look at human beings as potential great. So that within itself is a reward that is greater than money for an individual that sees the true investment in young people. And then you have to figure out creative ways to make sure that they get it. That's why teachers are, you know, those precious jewels inside of societies. Teachers are, you know, those precious jewels inside of societies. No one forgets the teachers. No one forgets the teachers. No one forgets that person that played that major role or great role in their life. If I had to do anything with my life, I mean, beyond being, you know, the best I can be, is assisting others and definitely young people. I stressed to these young people the importance of adults hearing from them and their genuine spirit and feelings right now, from where they are right now. They're talented. A lot of them are talented already, poets, and my job was just to come in and try to challenge them creatively to really analyze what freedom is, you know, and what it means to them, and how their words, powerful words, can actually affect that. My children influence me greatly in my messages to other young people, because I see through them how the messages of our society affects, I almost said infects, but it still fits young people. I'm inspired by their ideas and how they're influenced by what they see and what they feel. So that usually is when I get my cue to intervene when certain media or different stimulus influence them, because then I know it's influencing other young people. I came into 3 high schools, so I'm coming into young people's territory. I'm coming into schools. I mean, I've been working inside of schools, going into schools for years. Some of their poems were responses to the workshops, and those poems were the ones that let me know that this work was effective. But I challenged them, so some rise to the occasion, some view it, some sit back and watch and observe. But I always communicate and reach out to each and every one of the young people inside of those classrooms that I work with, regardless if they want to be a poet or not. I always have successes, and I'm a satellite worker, so I create satellites out of young people in order to get the real main message across, the purpose across. Sometimes I'm working small time frames, sometimes I'm working large time frames, but I'm always making sure I get the job done. I work with arts organizations. I work with Westchester Arts Council. They're an arts organization that supports artists and artists going into schools, going into community centers and various places to spread the love of art to young people, to enhance their minds and their lives. I work along with the arts. The Martin Luther King Westchester Institute for Nonviolence. They are a non-for-profit. They've been in existence for many years, and they've been doing a annual conference for the past 12 years that I've been involved with for the past 4 years. And they support our young people throughout Westchester. So supporting the Westchester Martin Luther King Institute for Nonviolence, that's a good way to plug in, and also just hop on the team. City of White Plains Youth Bureau, and particularly there's other youth bureaus throughout Westchester, but the one that I work for, supporting the youth bureau is important in helping our young people. I've been working there for about 10 years. I've gained a lot of lessons and inspiration from young people and co-workers and bosses over the course of my years working with them. So basically, supporting institutions and organizations that work with young people. Take a time out of your day and go in and or call in and or go on a website and find out about local organizations in your community that are serving specific needs that you want to be seen met, that you want to see met for young people or for yourself. You'll be able to find me at the Thomas A. Slater Center every day, except for Wednesday from 6 to 8. This is the first time that this happened, and I'm grateful to be part of it. I've always been doing work bringing young people together, so I guess they saw that in my efforts and my work, that I'd be a person that could help pull this task off. The experience of poetry and slam poetry and the genre of slam poetry causes the individual to observe more wording, more emphasis, and feelings. So you have to really pull from your feelings and your emotions and your circumstances to really deliver a message, because you are the individual on stage with no support. The support actually is your emotions and your energy and your feelings and your past experiences. So that's your that becomes your soundtrack, when you're dealing with spoken word. So in this particular endeavor, it's definitely life imitating art. Some young people are in tune and in touch with their poetic side. The fact that music is so popular and hip-hop is so popular nowadays, it automatically, there was a time where you were young people, a lot of young people like music, but nowadays it's like our young children are musically inclined more. I just have that feeling like the popularity of music in general is just has our young people just naturally musically inclined and naturally poetically inclined. So they're in touch with their feelings, and just the poetry allows them to really project and put a frame on their feelings, and it helps them make sense with what they're going through. The arts is what keeps this place safe. Without the arts, this would not be a very safe place. The poetry allows them to really project and put a frame on their feelings, and it helps them make sense with what they're going through. The issue is of freedom. The issue is of freedom. There's some mental bondage that we still need to shake off. There's some mental bondage that we still need to shake off. I'm going to say some, and then I'm going to split it up. To some of them, freedom is just the ability to do whatever they want to do, whether good or bad. To some young people, freedom is the triumph. Freedom is the bright light in front of them, and also a bright place that they ancestors they came out of. So to those young people, freedom is a place to reach to, a place to try to be at, a place to try to end up at, and they have a deeper connection to their past. It's so many young people that in schools, we walk through hallways, for those that do visit schools and work in schools, we walk through hallways, we hear all kinds of language. Sometimes there's very little corrections to those young people that just have foul mouths, and they're getting it from the music they listen to. They're getting it when they maybe get home. They're getting it in places that are just overwhelming their mindset. Why not have words of freedom? Why not have words of freedom? This can be an avenue that will allow them to have words that will be uplifting.